Hey everyone, my name is Vanessa and I'm an English teacher here in South Korea. I've been here for about 10 months now. I'm going to take you with me through a day in the life of an English teacher. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask. In the next post, I will be posting a question box so you can ask me whatever you want. So I just got this question of how much free time do you have during the week on average? Personally, for me, I go to bed a little earlier and I wake up kind of early because I go to the gym and whatnot. So my working hours are from 8:45 to 5:45. So I'll get home because I walk to school. So I'll get home around 6 and then I'll go to bed at around 10. So I have like 4 hours. So 4 times 5 throughout the week is 20 hours. That's during the week. And again, that's because I go to bed early and wake up early. So it just depends on like the lifestyle that you live. But personally for me, it's not that bad. It's honestly like really good. And you can currently hear my class in the background with another teacher because I'm on my first break right now. But yeah, I have pretty good break times during a free time during the week. Okay, so for the salary, very good question. I think everyone right now, or for the most part, like the starting base is like 2.5 million won, which is roughly about 1,800. And then obviously like there's other things like taxes and like pension and stuff like that get taken out. So it's probably about 2.2 that I actually take home, which is roughly about like 1,600 or so. And here, thankfully, that is like a very good number to live off of because the cost of living is like really good here. So that's what the salary is right now. For me, this is my first year, so like depending on the years of experience that you have, you'll get more or whatever the case is, depending on the school you go to. So good question. If I spend time outside of school, like grading or doing anything, any prep work, no. I got lucky enough that I have a school that gives me break times during the day. So like right now I'm on a break, but I teach 5-year-olds, so there's not really much to prep. So I don't spend any time outside of work prepping for class. So I've actually been to 2 other places outside of the Seoul area. I actually don't even live in Seoul. I live about 30 minutes east of Seoul. But the 2 places that I've been are to Suwon, which is south of Seoul, and then I've been to the east coast, Hagwon. So, but for the most part, I'll typically stay like in my area. So I work for a hagwon, and I actually found this job on, ironically, the ITA's South Korea page. Someone, I think it was a old English teacher that worked here, had posted the job, and then I ended up emailing my now boss, and I'm here. So take a look at the Facebook pages. They're very helpful. So I teach at a hagwon. And as always, just always be careful to look at different ratings or just like the history or what other English teachers have to say about it, because hagwons are private schools, and sometimes there are some private schools that are ran way more like a business than an actual school. So you always have to make sure you do plenty of research before you accept any job. So I actually ended up doing the online course because I lived in Texas, but all of them were in Chicago, I believe, or they probably have multiple options. But I just did the online course, and my degree was actually in marketing, nothing to do with teaching, but South Korea will accept anyone with a TEFL certificate and a bachelor's degree. So if you just finished your TEFL certificate, congratulations. I know that sometimes it can be a little difficult, like, okay, what's next? Like, what do I do? There's a lot of amazing opportunities out there. You can get in touch with recruiters, like depending on which country you want to go to. If you want to go to anywhere really, you just get into the Facebook specific country groups. Like I joined the ITA South Korea group, and a lot of people were posting about the jobs, and I'm sure that's exactly how it is in all of the other groups. So do that and like talk to the recruiters. They're really there to help you. But I'll also be posting my Instagram handle if you want to talk a little more about which specific country you want to go to, or just you really need like more guidance that you might not get from anyone else. So the reason why I ended up choosing a hagwon over a public school is because it just ended up happening that way, that I applied for the hagwon compared to the public schools. I was looking into Epic and I was going through the process, but I just was going through like back and forth, like all the pros and the cons, and going into a new country where I didn't know the language or know anyone. I wanted to be just closer to the city because I know that there was going to be a better chance of people that spoke English, so I'd be like a little more comfortable. But I've been learning Korean along the way, but that was one of the biggest things, is that I wanted to like feel a little more comfortable, because being closer to the city, there's people that typically end up knowing more English. So that's the main reason why I chose a hagwon over a public school. Also, I wanted to share some news, is that I actually came to Korea and I ended up bringing my dog over. So let me flip the camera. Oliver. I have a dog here. So it's a little difficult, the process, but it's not impossible. So if you have any questions about that too, please go ahead and let me know, because I would be more than happy to answer any questions. He is a smaller dog. He's only 7 kg, like 16 pounds, I believe. So if you have any questions about that, I wasn't able to find anyone to help me really. So please ask away. I would love to help out. So this is a good question for just like exactly what to pack. For me, I ended up just bringing a lot of clothes. You can basically buy anything here, like any of your basic necessity needs, or like for here specifically in South Korea, I know that there was like a couple of things that I Googled or I looked up and I had asked, and they were like, oh yeah, make sure you bring like American deodorant because it's different here, or if you're like over a size 9 or 9.5 or something, that you need to bring like your own shoes or like bring extra because it's a little more difficult to find here. Or like if you're like maybe plus size, I know there's like a lot of plus size clothing like I personally haven't been able to find, so it really just depends on where you move to. So it definitely can be overwhelming whenever it comes to packing. So the process of getting Oliver over here it wasn't too hard, but it was kind of long. There's like a list of certain things you need. You need like a FAVN test. They need to have a rabies. They need to have their microchip. They need to have like their own plane ticket like on the way here and whatnot. It depends on like how big your dog is. Again, Oliver's a small dog and he was able to fit like as a carry-on. But it can get a little expensive, and finding housing, it wasn't difficult at all because my housing it came with my job. Like my employer is the one that pays for my apartment. So I just said, hey, I have a dog, like, is it okay? And he was like, oh yeah, absolutely, of course. So I'll put my Instagram handle so you can ask me more questions if you have any more in detail questions.